And with the 14th overall selection, the New Orleans Saints select offensive tackle Taliese Fuaga out of Oregon State. So fun fact about this pick, the last time an Oregon State Beaver was a first-round pick was when the Saints took Brandon Cooks, which is pretty cool if you ask me. But guys, I absolutely love this move. This was exactly what the New Orleans Saints needed. And Fuaga is going to bring so much ability to this offensive line. And just to take a quick look at his PFF grades, the guy was stellar last year for the Beavers. An overall grade of 88.2, the run blocking grade, he is stellar against the run. And I think that with offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak, you could see some wide zone offenses, and I think that you could see him be a really useful tool to give space to Alvin Kamara, to allow Derek Carr to have time to throw the ball, to let Taysom Hill frickin' cook. I mean, look at that number. A big old goose egg in the sacks allowed. Did have 10 hurries, did have 2 hits, but I'm totally okay with that, guys. This is a player who is extremely athletic. And per his RAS, his relative athletic score, he fits the mold for the New Orleans Saints. He had a 9.61 relative athletic score. The only thing he really got knocked on was his height and his 20-yard split, but his 40-yard dash was explosive. The vertical was incredible, and the broad jump was so damn good as well. And this is a player who I don't only think is going to be a good fit in terms of the scheme and in terms of what the Saints need, but I think he's going to be a really good culture fit as well. Now with Trevor Penning, I know that the New Orleans Saints still believe in him at the left tackle position. And I know you have some thoughts there, but before I share my thoughts, I need to get you guys' opinion. Grade the pick. I mean, if you're typing anything other than an A, I don't know what to tell you, man. Joe Alt off the board, Olu Fashanu off the board. Taliese Fuaga was the number 1 offensive tackle left in the draft. They were taking calls about trades. They were looking at possibly moving back. Which would have been the first time since 2007. But this is a good move for the Saints. They didn't have to trade out. They didn't have to go and make a move to get a player that's going to fill a really, really important position in need. Now, I can understand why not Dallas Turner? Why not a trade up for Brock Bowers? But here's the thing. I don't think Bowers was ever going to fall to the Saints at 14. He went to 13 to the Raiders, which I was pretty shocked to see him fall that far. And I think had he fallen, the Saints would have had a very tough decision to make. However, I think that the pick all along was going to be offensive tackle. And in terms of why not a Jared Verse or a Dallas Turner, may I remind you the Saints signed a Chase Young in free agency, so they don't necessarily view that as a desperate need in terms of a first-round pick right now. They're trying to maximize the roster they have. They're trying to maximize Derek Carr. They want to get the most out of Alvin Kamara, Taysom Hill, Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, A.T. Perry, Kendre Miller, Jamal Williams. You guys remember how much Jamal Williams struggled last year? Well, here's a guy in Taliese Fuaga who is a mauler, who is going to destroy anybody in his path. And on top of that, he's huge. He has such a nice frame. And he's one of those guys who's really efficient when he gets out of his stance. Now, obviously, James Hurst, yesterday, he announced his retirement from the NFL. So if offensive line wasn't a need then, it was a die-hard need now. And I think that this is exactly the route that the Saints should have gone. Sure, you could have gone to Dallas Turner. You could have gotten Brian Thomas Jr. You could have gone for a nice offensive weapon and addressed it in the second round. But I do think that depending on how things shake out, you're going to look back at this pick and be like, damn, I'm glad we made that selection, because who knows who was available at number 45 overall in terms of offensive tackles and offensive linemen available. And I got some more thoughts that I want to get to, but I have to say thank you to today's presenting sponsor, which is GameTime. And if you download the GameTime app, you can get $20 off with our code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS. That's $20 off if you use our promo code. GameTime is the #1 ticketing app. It is my favorite ticketing app, and it's so great because the prices drop as the event gets closer. And it is the lowest price guaranteed. You can take that to the bank because GameTime's going to be saving you some money in the bank. So if you want to get tickets to a New Orleans Pelicans playoff game, or if you want to go to an LSU game, or if you're not even living in New Orleans and you want to watch an MLB, XFL or UFL or whatever, or if you just want to get tickets to a concert, comedy show, a live event, they even have tickets to Jazz Fest. You can get $20 off when you see this screen and put in code CHATSPORTS to redeem that code. Shout out to GameTime for sponsoring today's video. It's last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Terms do apply. One more time, download the GameTime app. Use our code CHATSPORTS to get $20 off. All that information is in the comment section and description of the video. So in terms of some more about Taliese Fuaga, he's one of the better run blockers in this draft class. And I think that that's something that the New Orleans Saints were massively lacking last year. And you can point the finger to Pete Carmichael. You can point the finger to the offensive line. You can point the finger to Derek Carr. You can point the finger to whoever you want. But the reality is the Saints needed better protection for their running offense. They had virtually no rushing offense, and it was extremely lackluster, and it wasn't energetic. It wasn't fun. Like, even when they were playing, it was like, can we at least enjoy it? Can I at least see Alvin Kamara pop off for a 40-yard run? That would be cool. But with how athletic and how talented of a player Taliese Fuaga is, you can utilize Jamal Williams in a better manner in the goal line. Clint Kubiak today discussing his time with, discussing this year with the Saints, he took to the WWL radio in New Orleans and was saying, we're not scoring on third down. We want to score on first and second down. So Fuaga allows the running offense to be a little bit more productive and to be a better unit. And on top of that, he does have the ability to possibly flex on the inside to the offensive guard spot in case something happens or in case Ryan Ramczyk is good to go and maybe Trevor Penning does pan out. I know Mickey Loomis in his press conference before the draft, he discussed, we're excited to work with Trevor Penning. We got a new OC. We got a new offensive line coach. We got a new offense as a whole in terms of the coaching and the leadership. So we want to do what we can to utilize that to succeed. And we believe in Trevor Penning. We're excited to get to work with him. That's kind of the gist of what Mickey Loomis was saying. But guys, if you made it to the end of the video, we're clearly doing something right. So I encourage you to subscribe today for free Saints coverage. We're going to have another video coming out tonight where I'm going to grade the entire first round in the New Orleans Saints selection. And on top of that, we're going to have a mock draft for the second round coming out tomorrow morning. Non-stop coverage. We're live right now on the channel. So if you're seeing this during the first round of the draft, come join the live stream and hang out and have some fun with us. Saints fans, it is an awesome day to rep the black and gold. And Taliese Fuaga, you are a New Orleans Saint. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.